Welcome to the Running Channel podcast with me, Sarah Hartley, Rick Kelsey to my left, Andy Baddeley to my right. I want to get straight into it. Training on a treadmill. What are your thoughts, Andy?
Well, I think I know what Rick's thoughts are going to be, but I quite like it.
I used to think of it as a treadmill, Andy.
Yeah.
But actually, when it's cold, dark, damp, miserable, and you've got to train for a marathon, sometimes it's just a brighter horizon to spark interest and keep the joy and passion in running.
Oh my God, what's happened?
I do think the treadmill, to be fair, gets a bad rep a lot of the time.
No, you're probably
Maybe
right.
it's how people are using it as opposed to the thing itself.
We're going to do a deep dive into everything about the treadmill, so hopefully how to get the most out of it, because I do think they're having a bit of a resurgence right now. And they do get a bad rep, and there's been points where I've done loads of stuff on a treadmill and loved some of it, hated some of it. So maybe we can give our top tips about the workouts, and Sarah's got a sneaky news story for us as well.
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's get into it.
Week 2 of marathon training.
Well, week 2 hasn't really started, has it? Have you finished week 1?
Yeah, week 2 started today.
But are you
As
running
in today is day 1 of week 2.
No, I don't run on Mondays.
So, yeah, right.
Week 2.
Yeah, week 2.
Runs 0. Motivation 0.
Motivation high.
You've been labelling your runs on
Yeah, I
Strava.
have. Yeah, so I did something called a progressive long run.
Before we get that,
It's just the most...
And then I did some over and unders, but I thought after I labelled that, I thought I need to stop labelling this stuff because people are going to think I know what I'm talking about.
They're going to be like, so what is an over and under? And you'll be like, I have absolutely no
What is an
idea
over and
and I've
under,
done
Rick?
5.
Over and under is, I know it now, it is when you run just above your planned marathon pace and just below your planned marathon pace or race pace.
yeah. So overs are the fast ones and unders are the slow ones. Yeah.
So I did so apart from the long run, the 2 other runs that I do in a week are only about 5K and they stay that way the whole way up until April, the other 2 runs. They're different types of runs. You do some tempos, fartleks, over and unders.
Yeah.
And, but so yesterday I was kind of like, 4K, I feel like I need to do a little bit more. It doesn't seem like enough.
Well, we can manually adjust as well because you're following a runner plan, right? So we can dive in there and we can make it slightly more challenging for you.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, I don't think it needs to be that much more challenging.
There's that feature, isn't there, where if you've ever used a runner plan, we've all been there. We've all looked at the difficulties. We've all ticked Elite Plus.
I mean, what did you tick, Rick?
We've all looked at the training and gone,
yeah.
I'm going to change that back to intermediate.
I think I ticked
to actually reflect your own ability, not your perceived ability in your head.
I am elite.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't tick Elite Plus. I think I ticked Survival.
You did.
No, but I just thought 4K. But then I was like, how wrong can you go on an execution score percentage-wise for 4K?
How long did you go?
Oh, I got 40%.
40%. Wow. Okay.
How could you get it
Well,
wrong?
You just can't, but why don't you just breathe?
I can't believe.
Breathe.
Yeah, I am so excited. We're only on week 2. You haven't even done week
Breathe.
2.
Just
It's
breathe.
1 week.
No,
Already people think you actually know what you're doing.
I just feel like
I
do feel like my life has changed. I actually...
Marathon trains for 1 week. I do believe my life has
and I'm not
changed.
dismissing the amount of your front.
Please don't post
I'm
this on
running 3 times
Instagram. I just really feel like a new man.
I
feel like everything suddenly has become clearer.
Well,
and
no,
my
it's
thoughts
not just that.
are suddenly out in front of me.
It's not just that.
I've got a new zest for life.
Yeah.
It's my life around running has changed. So
because I'm just a different person.
No.
When I wake up at 5 a.m. and I smash my protein shake, and then I seize that 4K,
2:30
and I might only execute it to 40%. But when I come home, I'm a better father. I'm a better human. I'm a better neighbour.
Also,
I'm better at parallel parking.
Rick, just to put your mind at ease, you said that you're worried that by titling your Strava titles appropriately as to what you've done, people might actually think you know what you're doing. I wouldn't worry about it. I really don't think that's the thing we need to worry about.
Any concern about that? Sorry, so you feel like you've changed?
I've started, hanging out with running people as well. Like last weekend, I went to watch the football with my mates from Parkrun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were like sitting there drinking Guinness. I don't even drink Guinness.
You do now.
Yeah, I don't even drink Guinness. Sitting there.
Playing
You've been
dress up
peer
as a
pressured into
marathon.
it.
Having some intoxicating consumables with my friends from Parkrun. It was great.
So So basically, what we've learned here is that Rick now knows what he's doing, but
don't.
also that marathon training is easy.
And really doesn't really know anything.
No, it's not easy.
Yeah.
No, it's not easy. I'm just making the point that it surprised me that, okay, my long runs are going to go up to 20 miles in 2 weeks before. What? Stop laughing.
Sorry, I'm so excited for this. This is all I've hoped and dreamed of since we started this podcast.
That they're going to go up to 3 weeks before they get to 20 miles. But I was just surprised that my plan, and by the way, I didn't do my plan alone. I did it with Jess.
Setting it up.
Yeah, set it up.
Yeah.
So it's like I screwed it up completely. My other 2 runs a week were going to be that short.
So what's your training looking like this week?
Well, I think I've got another progressive long run. I'm up to 10K. So I do my long runs on Thursdays now.
Yeah.
So I'm up to 10K.
That's just unhinged.
And then 2 shorts.
That's really giving.
Yeah.
Works one day a week.
Freelance life. Yeah.
Your random freelance friend on a Thursday.
I've got 5 jobs. You know what? I've realised you two just take the mick out of me.
Ding!
We've got a big one.
We've got him.
No, but you,
Reel it in, boys.
This is the problem, right, with working in this area, freelance, because everyone I work with thinks, Rick's here, he's here for his 1.5 days a week, the rest of the week, feet up, hot tub time.
Yeah.
I've got 5 jobs.
So you work for a total of 7.5 hours a week.
No, 5. It's only 1.
Oh, 1 hour each.
Anyway,
I was giving him a generous hour and a half.
5 of them are 0 hours contracts.
We can add in the travel as well.
So, let's just briefly talk about the National Running Show. Moving on from my training.
Right.
Yeah. Are you two looking forward to it?
Yeah.
I'm
So
absolutely buzzing.
this will go live as we are about to open the doors at the National Running Show.
Some people
this
might
episode.
be listening to this, doing parkrun on National Running Show day 1, and then be about to come to the show.
So
if you are, good morning. Have a good run.
This is a huge show for runners in Birmingham every year in January that we go to. We're debuting some new merch, which will also be available online, so you can buy it on our website as well, which is really exciting.
What colour is it?
Well, I have to wait and see.
Because the new merch every year changes colour on the back. So it was started yellow, then it went green.
Oh, it's a total departure this time. It's a total departure, but also actually for dedicated listeners of the podcast, there is one specific item of merch I think people might be excited about. Maybe. It's a sock, shoe, t-shirt. I'm going to give that one away now.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear that all weekend.
That will be good, actually.
Yeah.
We're doing a chat as well, a few chats.
Yeah, and you're doing a VO2 max test, aren't you?
Yes.
How's that fit?
Is that an extra run?
Running for the week?
Well, I'll just do what the plan tells me.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just do what someone tells me. If you ask me to do it, it'll be done.
Thank you, mate. That's good. That's the spirit.
Yeah.
How's your training going, Andy?
I had a big week last week.
Nice.
I think I did not close to 80 kilometers in the week, which is a big one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been. I did 2 workouts as well. So it's the first time in a while where I've managed to do 2 distinct workouts.
Nice.
Quite an adventure on my Saturday workout. So I was taking my lovely daughter swimming at an unearthly hour in the morning.
Right.
So when I dropped, and it was a totally new location to me, so it wasn't where I would normally run. So I'd done a bit of recceing the day before on Strava's heat maps to see where, and then actually there was a park within about 2 or 3 Ks run of where I was dropping her off.
Very nice.
So I was dropping her off at like 6:45 in the morning.
Grim.
Yeah, disgusting.
Pitch black.
Yes. That's the bit that I hadn't really factored in. I'd taken a head torch knowing it would be dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ran to the park, still pitch black by the time I get there and have to start my intervals. And my intervals 10 by K, quite hard, like a 10K effort.
Mm-hmm. I saw this on Strava.
So my first 2.5 reps were like with a head torch on where it wasn't light enough to see. And the park was fine, but I didn't know the park either. So I didn't know what the loop was I was actually running. And I just had to crack on because I had to get back to pick her up after swimming.
Right.
So then I got stuck in, and basically the first 2 or 3 reps were too slow. Were slower than I wanted because I couldn't run any faster because I couldn't see anything. So I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know. I was running around a sort of a small lake in the middle of this park. And then as it got light enough to run properly, I took my head torch and my jacket off, whipped them in a bush, and then cracked on. So the final 7.
Wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. Classic.
Love stashing it in a bush.
Yeah.
So that was entertaining.
Nice.
So yeah, I did rainy intervals on Wednesday and then dark intervals on Saturday. But getting it done.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
You any closer to your sub 20 target for the end of Feb?
Well, so I'm
5K?
now in a tricky situation where I've started marathon training and I still would like to go sub 20. And I don't know how possible the two are going to be, but I'm going to give it a good go.
And your marathon is in April as well?
Yeah, 12th of April. Hopefully Rotterdam. Yeah, so training, I'm actually really enjoying marathon training because I haven't done it properly I trained for the deepest marathon last year, but that was really just like get the distance in whilst life was very busy. This, I feel like January, life's actually quite slow. It's quite a nice time to just go out and like crack on. So I did an interval session of 5x2K, which was absolutely disgusting last Tuesday, but I did one rep, and then after the first rep I realised that I like had the same amount of recovery left as two guys from my club. So went into a pack with them, and you know, when like if I had done that session even like with other people around me but by myself, would have gone way slower. But then because from rep two, we were in a group, I was like, well, can't let you down. And also that I feel like there are two very different schools of thoughts on this. Some people like to chat during an interval.
I think that is madness.
Just to pass the time.
I've run with people recently, like in the last few years, where we'd set off for a workout and
they'll ask a question.
I'm like, warm up, chat.
Yeah.
The moment the watch is, I've pressed the split time, the lap button to start the first rep. I'm not talking.
Yeah.
And I'll talk in the recoveries.
Yeah.
But I have zero interest in talking in the interval.
Yeah, I agree.
The length of the rep depends on how chatty people get. So for I feel like if it's
2K,
a K,
they're thinking, let's have a chat.
If it's 2K, it was a good like over 5 minutes of talking.
Here's a question.
Over 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I can't remember if 7 or 8.
No, I was thinking you must be well over 8 minutes, because otherwise you'd be 20-minute 5K pace for your 2K.
I know we're going to talk about treadmills, but why in marathon training, like you are doing, Sarah, now, do you only go to 20 miles?
Why?
Well, a lot of people don't. Some people only go to 20 miles. Some of the pros, like I was looking at some pros that I follow at the weekend, and they're doing like 24, 25 miles. But it's easy, but they're, because they can do 24, 25 miles in less than 2.5 hours. Yeah. It's like the time on the feet really is the so the
so
injury,
it's time on feet.
The injury risk of doing, depending on the pace that you're running, doing lots more than 20 miles. Even doing 20 miles for some people might be a bit much if they're going to be on their feet for sort of well over 4 hours. That's probably too long to be doing in your long run, because the risk of getting hurt is more significant the further you go.
Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it's not more than 20.
Well, tell you what, just before we talk about treadmills as well, a quick plug that someone who knows all about running marathons is Jess from the Running Channel. She ran 42 marathons in 2025. And the exclusive episode of the Running Channel Club podcast, which is available now, is a deep dive with Jess talking about, I guess, her whole experience the last year, doing that absolutely phenomenal performance. I still can't believe she did it, if I'm honest. And one marathon every 8 days on average throughout the year.
And now she's just back training.
Yeah, like nothing ever happened.
Doing a track session, yeah.
I know.
Absolutely wild. Shall we talk about treadmills?
Yeah. Are you a fan?
I've been very on and off, but now I understand if I'm going to use a treadmill, what I'm using it for. And so I actually quite like a treadmill workout. But I think the main reason that people quite often hate treadmills, or they call it the treadmill, is because they think it's going to be totally different to running outside. And usually the assumption is it's going to be easier. So like, have you ever, especially
why would you hate it if it's going to be easier?
Because it's not, because it's the same.
Because you assume it's going to be easy, but it's not.
Like how many times have you been, especially like over the UK winter this year where it's been so wet, have you been like stood in your house, fully in running kit, about to head out the door? There have been so many days where I've been like, if I had friends on a TV in a garage right now with a treadmill.
I thought you should say if you had friends.
Just in general.
Yeah.
If I had a good TV show on a TV, running on the treadmill, this run would be so much better. And I feel like so many people, I've definitely had a tendency to be like, if I was doing this on a treadmill right now, it wouldn't even feel a tiny bit hard. Whereas I think it's the same. It's literally
for
the
loads
same.
I think for loads of people that I know, and for me, it's dramatically different. So some people do find the treadmill loads easier. There's loads of people who come to running through the gym, and therefore like they've almost discovered running through the treadmill, and that's their default, and therefore that feels a bit easier. Also, like your running mechanics massively affect how easy it feels. Whereas I find it harder. But that doesn't mean I don't have a place for it. Like for Valencia, I used we've got a Wahoo Kicker Run treadmill in the office, and I used that. You can see it in the video, the training videos that we did before Valencia. And it gave me loads more control for specific workouts when it, like you say, when it was icy or wet outside, and I knew I was going to be like either in the dark or the wet or both, or actually even not that, just that I wanted to be in shorts and a vest like I was going to be running in Valencia. And I wanted to run at very specific paces and actually just not have to think about it.
It's control, isn't it?
Yeah.
A treadmill creates a controlled environment and also gets rid of some of that motivational problem of getting out when it's absolutely miserable. I was looking at some of the stores, like shops, some of their stats about how treadmills have been sold over the last 30 to 40 years. And in the 80s, it was really quite a big thing when treadmills came out, and people started putting them in their spare rooms. And there was a big boom, especially in the US, of putting a treadmill in your home. And then in the 90s and noughties, they kind of died out and they weren't as popular. But then recently, we've seen a spike again in people buying them to use more at home or in controlled environments.
I think there's a real like step count is such a big thing. Like not even like aside from running, to broaden it out a tiny bit, people are really, really invested in like getting their steps in. I saw loads of people like over the winter who have been on, you know, like you get those tiny little walking pads, but I think people have been doing it, if you're a runner as well, people have been doing it on treadmills to get your steps in, just get moving.
Yeah, I have had a video call with somebody before where they're on like a standing desk on a treadmill.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Are they?
Yeah, like walking. They weren't
It's like
running.
you always see it in
that'd be
films,
mental
don't
to be
you?
on.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So Sarah, you're then tying this to the general boom and increase in fitness and interest in running that we've seen in the last 10 years.
And tracking.
And that would
it.
naturally
And
bring
tracking
up people buying treadmills
Yeah,
or
I
using
think so.
treadmills.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
I've got quite a funny story. I can probably call him out. I don't think he's going to care. He's a superstar. I remember I used to live with a very famous British Olympian, over 5,000, 10,000 meters.
Oh yeah, who could that be?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Don't even
No
work it
idea.
out. And I remember this was like in the earliest days of GPS watches, and I remember him being given a GPS watch by a particular brand. And then I was like, "Hey, where are you off to?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just going on the treadmill." What are you doing? I'm just going to see if this watch works.
No.
I was like, well, I'm not sure how much GPS you're going to get on the treadmill.
Yeah, because it's guesswork, isn't it? When you put a treadmill on your watch
Well,
now,
you can calibrate it. You calibrate it to the length of the run that you do.
but it's using the movement of your arms.
Yeah, but then you do that by calibration. So the first time you run on the specific treadmill, you choose to calibrate the watch, and then you say at the end of the run, it asks you how far you've actually run on the treadmill.
Yeah, but I think I'd just like move my arms really quickly to get it done quicker.
No, but you got to go off the treadmill distance.
You
So
have to
you
go
don't
off
look
the
at the watch
treadmill.
until afterwards.
I don't know. That has got to be so rough.
No,
Well, the treadmill,
no.
the treadmill.
No, not the
distance is-
treadmill. Like, okay, yeah, you can calibrate it,
Yeah.
but
No, as in
it
when-
can't be that accurate.
Right, when Andy says calibrate, I think we found the bit that he's confused.
No,
on.
no,
When
I
Andy
no, I
says
get it. I
calibrate, you
completely get
literally put in. So you take whatever the treadmill says, and then you put,
Yeah.
and then you tell the watch that.
Yeah.
So then that's entirely
I
accurate.
just think that's a lot of fuss.
There we go.
That's a lot of
Those
fuss.
3 buttons that Rick would have to press is just too. It's a step too far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Too much.
Although I do quite like the fact that in my ear, I'm told on my training plan if I'm going too fast or too slow on a certain kilometre. Tells me
It's
to
always
slow
telling
down.
you going too fast.
Yeah, I bet you've never been told you're going too slow.
No.
Look at his chuffed
Yeah, but
little
that's not a
face.
good thing.
No, it's not a good thing.
Discipline is well, I suppose my point here is that your discipline is much better on a treadmill because you can just set it at a certain speed.
Do you know
So
what I like
that's-
as well?
You are in tune with what you're doing. You can't go wrong. You are far more controlled, and it's an incredibly useful tool if you want to learn what it feels like to run at a certain pace.
Exactly
Yeah.
that. Exactly that. And you don't. Then it becomes. Then it becomes a mind game. As long as you're willing to stay on the treadmill, then you're doing exactly what your training plan
Yeah.
dictates. Whereas outside, you obviously get distracted. You like your motivation wanes. You're like the number of reps that we were talking about that you'll do, and you're like, oh, I just didn't hit the time there because I had to wait for someone across the road or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
None of that
With
happens on the treadmill.
Yeah, on the treadmill, you literally, the only decision you have to make in a rep is to stop,
Yeah.
which if you're outside as well, it's very, very hard to actually make yourself stop in a rep.
Yeah.
So easy though to just gently slow down,
Yes.
and then very hard to like recover and speed up. So yeah, great tool.
I take that point, but how do you stop the boredom of it?
I think by firstly taking your favourite run or session that you do and applying it to the treadmill. So for me personally, I know that whilst in my head it makes sense that easy runs would be the best ones to like go onto the treadmill for, I know I get far more enjoyment out of doing interval sessions because that it's like short and there's lots of stuff changing. So if I'm going to do an easy run on the treadmill, then I know I need something like really interesting to watch.
Yeah, you can't. That's the thing. You can stick a TV or a laptop on the front, and then you can be watching whatever you want.
Yeah.
Or you can be watching all of the stats. I quite like doing that because I'm a geek.
Yeah. I think the amount of time that you would put into planning your route if you were going outside is the same amount of time that you need to put into like planning your entertainment. Whether that's like, so, and that could be really quick. Like if I go out for a run, I'm literally like, okay, I'm going to go here, here, here. But then I think sometimes you just get on, start running, and then you're like, oh, I'm a bit bored. And like it obviously is different because you're not, if you just get on and run, you haven't got the same like surroundings that you're looking at. So if you are doing a run where you're not changing pace or speeding up or doing anything, then having something to look at, I think makes a big difference. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. One of the huge benefits of the treadmill that people very rarely talk about, because a lot of people run on the treadmill in the gym. Mm-hmm. But even if you did it at home, this is your chance to look at how you run.
Yeah.
So set up a phone behind you or to the side of you and film yourself running, or have a mirror like you do in the gym and watch yourself running. Like you can never do that outside on the track or when you're on a regular run. And so all of the stuff that we talk about, like what your arms doing, like how hunched are your shoulders, like what's your posture like? Are you actually like keeping your shoulders back and your chest forward and your hips up and looking nice and tall with it, like as if the string's pulling your head up? Are you making contact? If you're looking from the side, are you making contact with your feet underneath your hips as opposed to like reaching out in front of you and overstriding and heel striking and all that stuff?
Also, on the actual belt of the treadmill, are you able to stay in one place?
Yeah.
Because I actually feel like that's...
No, I'm not.
No. Are you like drifting from side to side? Are you... So the treadmill that we have in the office, it has a like run free mode.
Yes.
Where you set the pace of the treadmill and it essentially
based on how far forward or back you are.
Yeah,
it slows
which
down
is
if you
so
go to the back,
interesting as a challenge to see like, can you hold pace? Can you stay in the same position, or have you got a like fluctuating pace because you're moving?
I did all of my physiology testing on a lab because it's in a lab on a treadmill back in the day. So all the lactate testing, they're taking blood samples, VO2 max, all that sort of stuff, because it's completely controllable. And we used to have like a bungee cord tied across the between the two arms of the treadmill effectively.
Oh yeah.
So that because you'd get, you're running to your to exhaustion, and like quite a lot of stuff we did on the treadmill was like high risk. That you're running really fast, really hard, and you're running until you can't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. So it was there as like a sensory thing, so you didn't have to look, but you could feel it either against your like hips or your waist, or just your thighs might be touching it as you're running, and then you were far enough forward on the treadmill, and it sort of stopped you going too far forward and running into the front, but also meant that like if you didn't have that sensation, you're probably drifting a bit too far back. So that old school.
It's also worth setting the treadmill at a 1% gradient to replicate real world conditions, but also it gives you that boost. So when you are out running on the flat next time, it feels a touch easier.
Yeah, I think the data around this is that, a lot of people reckon that's more akin to like the energy expenditure of running outside to have it at 1%. But I think that's generally for slightly faster speeds. So for sort of below 4.5 minutes per kilometre.
Hang on, energy expenditure. So what you're saying there essentially is that real world conditions of foot rolling, grids, moving around, dodging obstacles, that just requires that little bit of extra energy.
You're also running into the wind, right? So you have air resistance outside that you don't have inside. And
terrain.
There's a lot of chat about your posterior chain, which is glutes, hamstring, calves, like all of those muscles and how they power you in running, how you're using those muscles in a slightly different way, perhaps using them slightly less on the treadmill because the belt's doing some of the work. So by adding that sort of 1% gradient, that's what you're trying to almost compensate for.
The belt's doing some of the work that your body would be doing in real world conditions.
That's my understanding. If you think about the maths of it, or when your foot makes contact with the ground outside, you're pushing yourself forwards.
Yeah.
Whereas if you make contact with the treadmill belt, then the treadmill belt is moving regardless. Mm-hmm. So to an extent, it's kind of pulling your foot back as you also push off it.
That would suggest to me more was required than a 1% gradient.
Well, I think you just need to accept that it's different. That's how I feel about it. I've ran side by side with people on a treadmill or done consecutive lab tests where we're both on the treadmill. We'll go outside and repeat the same tests, and it's totally different. I remember running with someone who just had this incredibly bouncy running style, and this might be a coincidence, but they just found the running on the treadmill so much easier than I did. And so I'd run on the treadmill and my heart rate would be higher on the treadmill for the same pace than running outside. Whereas this person I was running with, their heart rate would be lower on the treadmill compared to running at the same pace outside. So the treadmill was easier for them and harder for me. And I think that's generally the case. So as long as you're acknowledging that the treadmill will be different for you, and therefore if you were trying to dial into a specific pace, maybe give yourself a little bit of slack.
Exactly.
And like not worry about it too much. Take off a little bit of time or work it out how it feels. Maybe base it on heart rate. I don't know. But like I would be just saying replicate the type of session. So whether it's the steady pace or fluctuating overs, unders, whatever it might be. And then as you run the treadmill more, then you'd start to dial it in as to how that actually corresponds to running outside, because you could compare heart rate, for example.
But if it is more tricky, giving yourself that 1% gradient on a treadmill does navigate some of the change.
Yeah, that's the theory. That's the theory for... I've always run at 1% on the treadmill. Whether that's required for everybody, I don't know. But yeah, I think that one of the big things we talked about just there is you can look at yourself running, and actually it's one of the best ways possible to analyze it. And if you were trying to make a small change, again, we'd never say try and make massive changes because your body self-optimizes for running. But if you're trying to like increase your cadence a little bit, or you're actually, I would say that the changes you might want to make is posture when you're fatigued.
Yeah.
So if you were filmed the first 5 minutes of a run and then the last 5 minutes of a run on the treadmill.
And then compare.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next time, try and like actually think about what you're doing, whether that's squeezing your glutes, holding your core more strongly, in order to stay in good running form.
Should we each give a favourite workout that we've done on the treadmill?
I was with Mark, who's written about treadmills on the Running Channel website recently. And sometimes Mark in our office stays behind after we've all gone home. And if you come in late, you'll just see him on an incline of about 8 to 9%.
At least that, yeah. I think he sometimes maxes
running
out,
crazy treadmill hills.
Well, he walks a lot of them because he's training for a 100k ultra as well.
But I just wonder, because you and I used to do, I think it was a road called Coombe Drive in West Kirby.
Yes, we did.
And on our sessions to get in basically some big hill reps, we'd be taken to this brutal hill.
Yeah.
When we were training by cross country teachers.
Shout out to Dave Wilkes from Body Grange Grammar School back in the day.
I just wonder what the benefit though of, because I've done this with Mark, and it's tough and it's brutal and it's like that. But I wonder what the benefit of is, instead of doing 8 hill reps on somewhere like that really steep road that me and you used to do in West Kirby, compared to doing 1 minute hill reps at 8% on a treadmill. I wonder what the benefit is.
Well, it's completely controllable, and we're in an area of London where there aren't any hills. We're not lucky enough to live in North London like you.
Exactly. Yeah. Come down to Hell's Fire.
If you haven't got it, get on a treadmill.
But I loved using it for progressive stuff. So where I can literally nudge the pace up to an exact pace every kilometre or mile, and just go, I'm going to go 10 seconds per kilometre faster for this next one, and do that and then switch off. Like, and not have to think, not have to set the pace myself. Like, that's the theory of
just
pacemakers in like the Diamond League and the big races, is like, just keep up, not have to switch off, music on, podcast on, whatever it might be, just keep up, and then I'm done all of a sudden.
I like discovering a new pace. So like 1k reps on a treadmill, I find really fun, because if it's like just faster than I think I'd be capable of doing outside, I feel like you can really learn how to like get your legs ticking over a bit quicker.
Nice. I've got another thing actually. Sorry, it's not related to the workouts, but related to both of your marathon training, particularly Rick's. Fueling. It is a faff to drive out the night before and stash a bottle in the bush for you to pick up the next day. But on a treadmill, you can stick a whole bunch of stuff around you. You can have your gels all laid out. You can have the hydration products in a bottle that you might want to drink from. And then you've got complete control of that. And you can practice doing it.
That's true actually, because how are you feeling about having to carry stuff?
Someone's actually sent me a really useful email about a pair of shorts which can essentially carry a tractor in them. They're so versatile. So, and I'm probably going to use these shorts. I think it's about just getting the kit right when it comes to carrying stuff. I do need to look into this.
Right.
And kind of really drill down and nail it. But I'm not at the stage yet where I'm going out for over an hour until next week. When, I'll start taking some of my new favourite gel with me, which is the neutral gel. No taste.
The best flavour. Right, should we talk about some news?
Let's do it. Right, let's start with the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix that was in Boston. And are you watching some of the highlights before we started? They run some crazy distances in this.
You were getting a bit cross about it.
No, right, 300 metres, bit weird, fine, okay, go for it if that's what you're into.
How many laps would that be, Rick?
300 metres?
Yeah.
Oh, of an indoor track?
Yeah.
I bet you that's one.
No.
Oh, an indoor track, what is it? Is it less? It's less.
Yeah. This is fun.
An indoor track can't be less than 300 metres.
An indoor track's 200 metres.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the point? But then, you looked uncomfortable then. But then, okay, I get it. 300 metres, fine. But a 60-metre race, I mean...
can you think about why that might be, though?
Yeah, it'll be the back straight.
No.
It'll be a straight, won't it?
Have you ever watched indoor athletics?
It doesn't look like the track is 200 metres.
Yeah.
I've been on an indoor athletics track. But 60 metres, I mean, seriously, we once did recently a 1 metre race.
Yes, that was stupid.
I think Tom won.
That was so good.
Like 60 metres, surely you're getting to the point there. I mean, you can't even get going.
Yeah, but that's what's interesting. Is like you could be so dominant in the 60, but there could be someone who just needs that extra 40 metres. So then when you apply it to the outdoor season, you're then like...
Right.
Yeah, like Noah Lyles is never leading after 60 in outdoors, is he? But in the 100, by the time it gets to 100, he's like... He just looks like he's got an extra gear in that last 20 metres.
Yeah, and then when you apply him to the 200, right.
So, and the 100 metres... the 60 metres indoors isn't in the back straight. It's in the middle of the track. So it's literally contained within the track itself. And then they run up. Oh. So they cross the finish line, and then there's probably another 10 metres. And then they run up the banks because the indoor track's banked
slow down
because it's so tight to get around 200 metres. And then they run into like a big crash mat at the end. Have you not seen them do that where they leap up into it?
Yeah.
So they did that. But then there was an 800 metre world record. So we're talking about standard distances now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the indoor 800 metre world record was set by Josh Hoey.
Right.
And he was paced by his brother. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, that
It can't be many times in the world where you've been paced to a world record, the fastest time ever run in history.
By your brother.
Mm-hmm.
By your brother. And it's an indoor world record, so it isn't quite as fast as outdoors, but it's still phenomenal. It's 142, got my notes here, 142.5. It was 142.67 was the previous record set 29 years ago in 97 by Denmark's Wilson Kipketer. So a really old record.
Wow, the previous record is older than me.
That's depressing because I remember the previous record. And then there was also a world record in the 2,000 metres men's with Hobbs Kessler. 4:48, I believe. And that was a Kenenisa Bekele world record, and he was phenomenal.
I mean, that really is a lot of laps. Sarah, were you more excited about that or Harry Styles?
Right. Can we
Here we
talk
go.
about breaking news that literally is so exciting? So, am I a huge Harry Styles fan?
Yeah.
No, not
No,
really.
not you. I thought
As
you were.
in, like,
So,
not
Harry,
really a
if you had the
Swiftie,
choice
really
right now
enjoyed Taylor
between- I know what you're
Swift's
gonna
new
say.
album.
If you had a choice between two Harrys right now.
Oh, Harry Styles or Harry Judd? I was thinking about this over the
You-
Yeah,
weekend.
so Harry
go
Judd from McFly, who you were completely in love with.
If I was
go for the Judd stuff.
If both were in the same room, I think I would die.
Well, you once had Harry Judd sitting right here.
I know. It was a great day. They're just so lovely. I feel like Harry Styles is the same.
Should we get Harry Styles on the podcast?
Oh.
Do you reckon
We could
achieve
try.
that?
I mean, we could try.
We could try.
so
Harry, if
what's
you're
happened?
listening, we'll give you some tips. Well, so Harry Styles brought out a new song, which hasn't been universally loved.
Oh.
However, anyone who has previously been a Harry Styles fan who doesn't like the new song, go out for a run with it because perfectly you can match your steps to the drum beat and it's great. Did a whole interval session to it this week. But more bigger news than that, Harry Styles is doing a 2026 world tour. The tour fits perfectly around many different marathons.
Really?
No,
Yeah,
of course
literally
it does.
Is this a
Perfect.
conspiracy theory, or he said he's going to run different
No,
marathons?
this is a conspiracy theory, but
Okay.
I'm just so invested in this. So in September, he ran Berlin, and he's a sub-3 marathoner now. Well done, Harry. The tour doesn't begin until mid-May, so clearly this leaves a spring marathon training window.
Yeah.
So people are predicting that it could be London, Toronto, or Rotterdam. Imagine.
Can you imagine if
I
it's
could run the
Rotterdam?
same race as Harry Styles.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Anyway, then... Oh, hang on.
Does he run under another name?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
It was
what is it?
Sten. Or something.
Because like you'd get in trouble if you weren't Harry Styles, wouldn't you normally, for like running under a fake
Yeah.
name? But then at the same time, I don't think it'd be very safe if you could have
Can
a
you
million
imagine
people
Harry Styles
live
running-
tracking him.
Yeah, imagine Harry Styles.
Stead. Yeah.
Imagine Harry Styles running London Marathon.
Yeah.
Like, just chaos.
Mm.
Berlin.
At least you'd only be running around the course in one direction.
Don't laugh, Owen.
Thanks very much.
Anyway, Harry Styles is playing Madison Square Gardens on September the
good.
26th, and then not again until September the 30th. The Berlin Marathon's in the middle. Could do that. Chicago Marathon falls on October 11th. The tour schedule leaves a clear gap between October the 10th and October the 14th. I love how he's giving himself, a little bit of downtime post-marathon. And then also, his final show of like a big New York stint is the night before the New York City Marathon. So he's doing a 30-night residency.
Okay, all right.
Guys,
enough,
this is so
enough.
interesting.
Enough.
Harry, if
Enough.
you're listening,
Yeah.
come on the podcast.
Literally.
We'll talk about running.
Do you think
we'll get
Oh my
Rick
God.
out because he is not being respectful to
No,
you?
do you think after, like-
too much,
I'll
Sarah? Just
pace
you've been
you.
banging on
Whatever
too much.
you need.
Do you think
Too
after
much.
like 18,
Harry, I'm here.
do you think 18, 20 miles into a marathon, he's just grabbing a bit of sports nutrition for a bit of a watermelon sugar high?
Oh my goodness
No?
gracious me.
Just-
Let's move on to the questions.
He should be.
Yeah, I thought,
Do you know Pure Sport did that big like London Marathon activation a few years ago where
Right.
they for whatever reason, I don't think they were allowed to advertise in the end, so they had to revert their plans and just open a watermelon shop.
okay.
That
Really?
would have been perfect to collaborate with Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Bring it back. We're literally doing your marketing for you.
We've got one more piece of news, haven't we? Which is that...
I don't know.
We have. You're just too distracted by this, aren't you?
Don't care. I'm talking about Harry Styles.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sorry, bring the news.
I'm still trying to think of other puns based on various songs, but Russ Cook, hardest geezer,
Yeah.
who has run, I think, the length of New Zealand. He's run the length of Africa. Like, he's an incredible
He's run a lot.
ultra runner. Has announced that he is going to have a crack at making the Great Britain team for the World 24-Hour Championships.
This sparked quite a lot of conversation in the Running Channel office because, as we all know, Andy doesn't go online, doesn't understand the
that's not
social
true.
medias.
That's not
Oh, I saw this.
So I turned to Andy and say, have you seen the news? Team GB's newest potential recruit.
Yeah.
And Andy quite quickly came back and said, well, he won't be in Team GB. Because
I
he's not in
did.
the Olympics.
I did, yeah. That's more of a pet peeve of mine. That,
Yeah, it's
As an Olympian.
You've thrown me under the bus here a little bit, but so he did in his announcement say he was going to try and make Team GB, but he was talking about the Great Britain team for these World 24-Hour Championships. Right. And to do that, he's going to have to. He said he's going to set his sights on speed, so he's trying to run a sub 2:30 marathon. So like these are really punchy targets.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Team GB thing. Team GB, to my knowledge at least, is a brand from the British Olympic Association. So
Right.
Team GB is what, and it's not the Team GB athletics team, it's Team GB. So if you're on the athletics team, the swimming team, whatever, at an Olympic Games,
Yeah.
You're Team
or a
GB.
Winter Olympic Games if you're doing skiing
Yeah.
or whatever, then you're on
It's
then you're on Team GB.
a bit much. isn't it?
Semantics.
Yeah.
No, but if you're
Really?
running
Like, do we care?
in the World Championships
Yeah.
or the
Does he
Does he
European
need to be that
Championships,
precious about it?
Yeah, semantics.
Bit bitter.
Yeah.
no, it's
All right,
different.
listen, Team GB over here is kicking off. So
Sorry, I don't think you're allowed to say it.
Sorry, I'm not allowed to
unless
say
you
that? Yeah. And
You're not allowed to say
Are
it.
you allowed to say it forever because you are?
because you are once and
GB.
always
Yeah.
an Olympian.
Yes, that's right. Never a former Olympian.
No.
Right, questions. Ed from North London. Yes.
Hey, Ed.
Both my wife and I are avid listeners of the podcast, coming for the useless banter above the science. My question today is somewhat with this in mind, and I would like to instead spark up a bit of a debate between the three of you. My question, Rick, you've mentioned in the past that one of the best people you've ever interviewed is Tom Cruise. Tom is widely regarded as one of the biggest movie stars on the planet, and if you hadn't noticed, spends large amounts of time running on screen, often away from danger. My question is, what time do you think Tom will be able to run a 5K when you consider his clear athletic ability on show in his films?
Ooh,
Well-
can I give a quick answer?
Can I just answer something that's not the answer to this? It's just that like Rick modelled his sprinting on Tom Cruise. So if
yeah, yeah.
anyone's seen Rick in the last 100 metres of a race, he looks like Tom Cruise.
Or what's the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Johnny Depp.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Do you remember last year at the
At the
National
r-
Running
yeah,
Show when
on
the
the
travelator was
travelator.
flat?
yes.
I was
Yeah.
rewatching that video at the weekend. So good.
I can still remember,
brilliant.
I've got strong images of you saying to me, Rick, you're going to have to run really fast to keep up with this.
Yeah.
No. And it was harder than you thought.
It was.
By the way, Ed from North London, the hills are real, he says. Damn right they are.
Yeah.
It's so hard training for a marathon in North London.
The Tom Cruise thing, what makes me laugh is he often, the scenes where he's running for like, he's covering, a few miles.
Yeah.
But at a Usain Bolt-esque sprint.
Yeah.
With the full like flat
He
hands,
would
like,
win the 60-meter race.
Yeah.
Hands
But
down.
for-
I think if he did no training, 21.
I was going to say, 22.
But he would have an absolutely phenomenal first, like 300-400 meters.
Oh, he'd be going at like 14-minute 5K pace.
Yeah.
to start with,
Then would die a death.
Yeah.
Then would like resurrect slightly. I feel like if he trained for it,
I think he could finish,
18.
Yeah.
on a kind of a 300-person park run. I think Tom Cruise could probably finish top 5 if he trained for a couple of months.
I think Tom Cruise could do
Really?
anything if he trains for it.
All right, we found your Harry
Yeah.
Styles equivalent.
Yeah.
I love Tom Cruise.
Do you know, he's always
He
in
can do no wrong
London.
in
He's
my
always
eyes.
in London. So maybe, we're punching here. Could we?
Sorry, we want Tom Cruise on the podcast. Right,
You've
Harry
interviewed it.
Styles, if you're not available, we'll take Tom Cruise. Don't you
Could we do
worry.
both?
Well, why don't we just ask?
yeah.
If you don't ask,
Let's
you don't
do it
get.
both.
If you
Yeah.
don't ask, you don't get. What? Oh, and should we just ask if Tom Cruise will come on?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the asking. I think it's knowing who to ask that's the problem. But
Isn't he famously...
And did you
much
say
like-
ask or ask?
I would say ask, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Northerners.
Home counties girl.
Isn't he famously...
Let's ask him.
He's got something else in common with you, Rick. So not only
Go
do
on,
you...
then.
He's got something else in common with you. Not only do you both sprint in the same way, but you're both quite famous for not being quite as tall as you claim to be.
This is a myth, by the way.
Way
This
to
is a myth.
kick him when he's down.
This is a. It's all right. He's.
Do you know when you train for a
Mate,
marathon,
he's
you
struggled.
lose
He's-
5
listen,
centimetres?
he's ever
That's
since-
going to firmly place you in
Sarah,
the
it's
forfeit
all right.
category.
Ever since he lost his hair, you've just got to be a bit sensitive with him. All right.
Yeah,
Just give him a pat on his knee.
He's been
and get
thinking
on with
about
it.
that for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Have we got time
It's
for
because
one
I didn't
more?
need the hair to
Right.
still be 6'2".
Right.
That's fine.
Dave
Rick
Harrison.
actually brushed it off at the hairdressers and
Do you-
stuck it on his head.
Listen, you take an extra inch where you can get it. Dave Harrison. Do you want to hear from Dave?
Yeah. Hey,
Right.
Dave.
At a recent park run, I got lapped by someone sporting a Running Channel t-shirt. I wanted to shout out and to give them a high five, but I couldn't quite figure out how to express my love for the best running podcast out there.
Did
As
you
they
write this,
zoom
Rick?
by. Then it hit me. How about we all start calling out "It's Gabby time" whenever we spot someone rocking TRC gear, or better yet, if we see a presenter powering up the hills or even the mountains of North London, let's make it a thing. Cheers, Dave.
It's
I
Gabby time.
love that.
Yeah.
Go on, Rick. Give us it's Gabby time. You've just seen someone running past.
It's Gabby time.
I don't think normal people can shout it like that. No, I definitely couldn't.
What would you say? Would you say I just crushed your spirit?
No, I think you'd say it's Gabby time, but I
Yeah.
don't think I can do it in the radio.
I actually-
radio
last-
voice.
It's Gabby
last,
time.
Last week I had to stop. Andy and I went to a track session in South London, actually.
Yeah, the Tooting Run Club,
Back
yeah.
Running Club. And I had to stop at a shop to get Gabby, but not Gabby. Gaviscon.
You're on the way
was
to
that?
Run Club and he's like,
Was that,
oh,
I need some
I
Gaviscon.
think I need some Gaviscon.
Oh my God. On the subject of that, have you heard what producer Owen accidentally did on a date? Can I
No.
out you here?
Well,
So Owen went on a date.
I don't know the story.
Apparently
that's every Tuesday and Thursday.
Owen had his standard Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to a nice restaurant in London.
Right.
The waiter came over and said, "Would you like the sommelier?"
Oh my God.
And
I've
Owen
just-
was like, "Yeah, perfect, great." Then another guy comes over and says, "Right, what wine would you like?"
Yeah,
and Owen
obviously.
says, Owen says, "No, thank you. We've already ordered the sommelier."
Oh, Owen.
I just can't. When he told me that the first time.
Oh, so you knew that already? Well, if anyone's listening to this right now,
Yes, me.
So
Rick's lost
good.
it.
For anyone who doesn't,
I just
for anyone in Owen's camp, don't worry.
Owen's over 30.
A sommelier is a wine. What would you describe them as? A
wine expert. Yeah.
Wine expert.
Well, if you are listening to this and you're coming to, particularly the first opportunity will be, you're listening to this over the weekend, you could be coming to see us at the National Running Show.
See you soon.
Please come and shout, "It's Gabby time" at us.
It's Gabby time.
In fact, even if we're on
time.
stage, shout, "It's Gabby time." That's the kind of heckle that I'm here for.
Yeah, so here for that.
Yeah.
And we'll see you
Yeah,
next
see you
week.
next week.
Bye.
Ciao, bye.